Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Board YouTube channel for today's Pick and Roll live stream presented by FanDuel. We're here on the Board YouTube channel as we are pretty much every weekday morning. As long as there are NBA games to discuss, we're here at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And for today, there are plenty. I think there's 11 NBA games to discuss, so loads for us to go through here. My name is Jacob. I'm joined here by my co-host Pips. We're ready for today's show. If you're ready as well, make sure you do smash that like button, help drive us up in the YouTube algorithm, show your support at the top of the stream, and also make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Pips, you're joining us here. Brand new microphone. Finally, we've got you some high-quality audio here. How you doing? Let everybody know how it sounds.
Yeah, so hopefully it sounds great. I only have issues with like hearing myself now that I have noise cancellation headphones, but I think I'll get used to it and hopefully. Some
Absolutely.
people complain that they have it difficult to understand me. Of course, my English is not my first language, but hopefully a microphone helps a bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hey, not to be ashamed, doing the show in your second language is very impressive, and you do it very well. Now, it also sounds very good to go with it. We'll start off today's show by discussing the previous show's bets. We had two bets for the Monday slate. We had a winner and we had a loser. The loser, though, was the big SGP, so we do get some good profit on the day. 43% on the ROI as a result of Rudy Gobert cashing in on his double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds. We got that at plus 115. The big SGP falls short. DeJounte Murray, was it 2 of 15 or something like that? He was in the game. So it was one rebound away. Yeah.
Dyson Daniels cooked his ass.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
he-
must have
he
felt
came-
good for
Yeah.
Daniels to
Yeah.
do that against the team that traded him, against the player they traded him for. That must have felt nice.
Yeah, also I think Dyson Daniels is straight away a better player, and Dyson Daniels ended up the game with 19 points and 4 steals. He's like insane, and DeJounte Murray can't create any separation when he's single coverage against great defensive player. So I was even though we were losing, I was loving this to see because I hate DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, he's just, well, other than the bet, but he gets found out too often. He's just not as good as people label him to be. Not as good as I think the Pelicans thought he was when they traded for him. Yeah. Nonetheless, he still
I
puts
will
up
have
numbers.
like hot take, maybe not even hot anymore, but Dyson Daniels by the end of the season probably a better player, or next season more valuable to the winning. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree. More valuable to win. He may not be as good as Murray is, but more valuable towards a team's success, one could definitely say. But even still, Murray took enough shots to easily cover this bet. Doesn't end up doing so, so unfortunately a loss. But hey, a good winning day to start the week, and we'll look to continue it today on the show. We're going to be using FanDuel as normal to go through all of the picks on today's show. And it's an important time to remind you guys that FanDuel is the presenting sponsor of the Board YouTube channel. FanDuel right now, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action this season by providing you with 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to take on this offer is place any $5 bet on the NBA. You can follow along all of your bets for this season, all of the bets from the show this season. Why not sweat them out live with League Pass? On top of this, for a limited time, new customers can bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So next time you are tailing a pick on the show, next time you have a bet that you want to make, bet it on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life live with League Pass. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present sex age for candidates in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Let's get back to the slate here. We'll go to the FanDuel odds screen to showcase the first game we've got up to discuss. And we've got a monster spread in this one. The Washington Wizards in town against the Cavaliers. The spread here is 16. Yeah, we usually see spreads like this in March, but early December. I mean, we are seeing spreads like this in the middle of November as well. But do you think this spread is an accurate reflection of this one here?
In this case, probably. Yeah, maybe not that 16, but I do expect a blowout.
Yeah.
Cavs are just so much better, and they are playing at home, which is and Wizards, I don't know, have 13 or 14 straight losses. So
They
yeah,
just completed no win November.
yeah, yeah, that's
It's
absurd.
It's hard to go an entire month, especially the first full month of the NBA season without a win. That's astonishing.
Yeah, they are lost by double digit in like 7 out of the last 8.
Yeah,
So they
by
lost by
10,
24.
25, 19, 12. It's 12 to the Celtics, pretty good. 28 to the Knicks, yeah. 22 Pistons. Wow.
Yeah,
this team's...
they are not covering, especially away. Like away, they are like minus 20, probably average.
Yeah,
over the last 8.
Pretty ridiculous
insane.
here.
And the only 2 wins came against the Hawks without half the team. And as I said, what was the line for their season total? That was crazy to me. 22.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know what the line now, but at that time that was probably like the gift line, like 99% chance to win.
Yeah, you said you predicted 15 wins early on in November, and their current over-under is 14.5, actually. So it's pretty much right where you thought it was going to be. A month ago, that's what you thought.
I think one of my hot takes before the season was like probably one top 3 worst records over the last 2 decades for the NBA, and they may be the worst team. So, yeah. They are on track. Yeah, they are on track. Like they are just disgusting. Like
the worst record is Charlotte, the Charlotte Bobcats.
I think
who went like 9 and 50 something because it was a shortened season. Let me see. Because they could start to be in that conversation. They went 7 and 59. The Bobcats.
Yeah, but that was shorter season.
So just adjusted towards losing percentages.
9.
Let me see.
9. I think it's 9. 9 and 73.
973. Let me just. So the Charlotte Bobcats a win percentage of 118. If the Wizards were to go 9 and 73, which is still like generally unlikelier, that would actually still be better than the Bobcats win percentage. So they'd have to go 8 and 74. Yeah, they'd have to go 8 and 74, which
to be worse,
would still be really difficult to do at this point.
Insane thing that team of the Bobcats was led by Gerald Henderson and DJ Augustin in second season, and now you have like Kuzma, Jordan Poole, Malcolm Brogdon, Valanciunas. Like this team is just
good
like
players.
Miles better than that Bobcats team on the individual note.
Yeah, there's more parity these days, so you wouldn't think there could be a team that puts themselves in that conversation, but here we are. Tough spread. Is there anything betting-wise you can do with a game with a spread like this?
Yeah, I wanted to take a bet on Jordan Poole, but I took 22.5, like privately, like half an hour ago before I started this mic stuff, and now it's like moved everywhere. Like it was 22 on every book, and now it's 21 everywhere. Like that doesn't happen that much. That in like a couple of minutes, every single book in the world is like moving the line by 1 point. So I think most people took this because he's not taking, probably 90% chance he's not touching the floor in the fourth.
A service plated, apparently. That's helpful. So that'll do it.
Yeah, this will close 20.5. Like last night, I don't know if you checked the Tatum closing,
I didn't,
but I think
but I had it,
I
so
think
I was following.
I think it was 26.5 that closed on FanDuel. Like I expected it to finish there, and
Yeah,
he still stayed under. Every lean I had last night or yesterday was,
yeah.
I think,
Oh,
it what was a hit. Yeah,
LeBron was
Schroeder
a brutal one
LeBron was
yesterday.
free. Yeah, free. I don't know why I didn't took that. Probably too much credit giving to LeBron. No emotions in betting, and I had some emotions about that one. That poor side of me. Schroeder cooked his assists. He had 10 assists, the exact number I said he has without Simmons and Cam Thomas, which is terrible, of course. And I think we had one more that I said, I can't remember now, but one more that I said I like and did, yeah, probably chickened out on terrible looking Slade. Need to pull up triggers way
Nas
more.
Reed, somebody mentions that's the one.
Yeah. So yeah,
You gotta
overall,
trust yourself. We gotta put these official.
yeah, yeah.
We'll move then to the next
Go.
game. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. We'll move into the next game.
Okay, next game. Speaking of Charlotte, we have the Hornets at home against the 76ers. This spread is this honestly. If you show me the spread to start the season, this is crazy. The Hornets are plus 4.5 against the 76ers. I believe Joel Embiid is not playing today. I'll just double check that. Joel Embiid, yeah, not going to play. Okay, so that makes the spread make a little bit more sense. But Joel Embiid out for this one. Charlotte, 4.5 underdogs here at home with an over-under of 211.5, so a low total. Any thoughts on this game here?
I think 76ers are winning this one.
This is the one. This is the game.
They won the last one against the Pistons, blow them out. I think this is the. They should win this one.
Last two
I
games, I mean,
actually think
they took the Rockets to OT as well the game before that, which is impressive to do as well. So maybe
I'm actually I'm
things go in the right
considering
direction.
I consider taking this one.
The spread?
Just a second. Not spread. Win
Oh, a
and
bet.
Maxi. Me Win and Maxi. Just a second. Let's see how it goes with Maxi 20 plus and them winning. Minus 119. I'll take this.
All right. What are we playing?
Maxi 20 plus points and 76ers to win.
Okay. Maxi 20 plus. You said 20,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And a 76ers win brings us minus 119 odds at FanDuel. First official pick of the day. And hopefully plenty more to go with the big slate of NBA games. Walk us through Maxi's matchup here and why you like this play.
First off, McCain is off the bench. And in that case, just Tyrese usage is incredible. We can see last two games, his usage was 33% and 38%. Clippers doubled the shit out of him, so I'll ignore that one. And then when we look at the Nets, 27%, double the shit out of him in limited minutes, 26 points. And then for the game, when he came back with Embiid, 34%. So if you take a look, the last season, so the lowest was 27% usage and the normal was like 33%. Last season, when Maxi had 26% or more, we will go even lower, 26% or more for Maxi on usage part. And when he played between 30 and 42 minutes, because that's his normal minutes tonight, I expect him to play 40 plus. So last season, Maxi, when he had 26% usage, and played more than 30 minutes. He was over this line in 30 out of 31 games and averaged 30.3 points. I don't think Hornets can stop him. So if he has a great game, with Paul George back to normal minutes, with McCain, with Oubre, with Kel Martin, I think that they should win this one. Set of urgency. Hornets don't care if they win or lose. They are down like 4 out of the best 5 players. Brandon Miller can't win alone. I don't trust guys like Vasilija Micic and Josh Green to be like difference maker on NBA team. So yeah, and I did like how the 76ers played against my Houston Rockets. I think they just like went to the overtime on Maxi back, even though he was defended by Fred VanVleet and Amen Thompson the entire game, ended up scoring 39. I don't see anyone on the Hornets being better defending him, and yeah, overall going to overtime with against my Houston, who just beat the Thunder and is like second best team in the second best record in the league, or like third best record. Yeah, I just like this.
Okay, there we go. That's the first play of the day. Tyrese Maxey, 20 plus points. 76ers on the money line. We'll take it minus 119 at FanDuel. It's probably a little bit better out there if you can shop around because FanDuel has one of the higher price money lines compared to what's out there. But make sure you shop around, get a good price there. We're going to be tracking it, though, at minus 119. We'll move into the second game on the slate today. Or sorry, the third game on our slate today. We'll be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks against the Detroit Pistons. Quietly, we've had our negative comments about the Bucks, and rightfully so to start the season. But it's time to beat them up a little bit. They've won 6 games in a row. They have won, I think they've won 8 of 9, something like that. They've won 6 in a row, though. They're starting to win games. They're not playing the greatest of teams in that stretch, but they did beat the Rockets in that stretch. There was a bad call that affected that. Since then, they've beaten the Bulls, the Pacers, the Hornets, the Heat, and Wizards. So again, not the most impressive run of wins, but 6 wins in a row is 6 wins in a row, especially for a team that was in some turmoil. They now have a winning record this year. How do you feel about their spread here, minus 3.5 favorites away at the Pistons?
Yeah, I talked about it last time about them winning against garbage teams. They struggled against garbage team to start this season, so they improved on that front. But honestly, this spread is correct. Like they are small favorites against the Pistons, with them being healthy now. Lillard and Giannis both playing. I think Giannis has some questionable tag or probable. I don't know.
Yeah, he missed practice yesterday due to illness.
Okay, so yeah, but he's probable for this game. So I may bet Giannis 30 plus with something.
Okay.
If I can see what's... Okay, let me just check what's the line. 31.5. But just a second. Yeah, he scored 59, season high 59 against them. So that's a huge one for me. I think Pistons can stick around. I like Giannis and Ivy, but I don't trust Ivy that much. Let me just check what is the price. Yeah, I'm trying to find something with
No worries.
Giannis.
I'll queue up Giannis here. Start with Giannis, 30 plus. Already minus 150.
Yeah, that's already close enough. I mean, I can do like Cade 15 plus, but that's not... He has tremendous matchup in this one, and he's a really stable guy scoring-wise. He scored 15 plus in every game so far this season, including season high 35 against the Bucks. I'm just checking other stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I would love some like custom lines that they are not up yet, but they are usually up later. Like when you have every line.
Yeah, alternate line we get any point.
Yeah. I would really like Cade 18 plus, like over 17.5 or stuff like that.
What's his
but
point line? Normal point line, 23.5. So yeah.
23, yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Let me just see which plus 20, 125.
We got something coming for this game.
Yeah. Oh, almost work. Yeah, let's do Cade 20 plus.
Okay.
And we are getting
Cade,
huge plus.
20 plus. We'll put Cade 20 plus. with Giannis 30 plus. If you feel like shopping around, maybe you can find something a little bit lower on Cade, but we're going to be playing it here at plus 125 odds. Giannis 30 plus points, Cade Cunningham 20 plus points. What is it about their matchups? You said Cade has a fantastic matchup tonight. Why don't you take us through it a little bit?
Yeah, I'll just check something out, but it's drop coverage of Bucks always like a great spot for betting. I'll first show you that Cade cleared this line in 15 out of 18 games so far this season. He's very consistent in scoring 21 to 24 points, as he scored exactly that line in, I'll say, yeah, he scored exactly that line in 11 games or 9 games. So half the games of the season he scored between 21 and 24. So very consistent scorer. But if you take a look at the similar players, K 35, Garland 39, Cam Thomas 32, they are 10th worst against pick and roll ball handlers. They allow free throws, and they also allow a lot of mid-range stuff and pull-up threes. That's all the area where Cade scores a lot of his points. So we are going to get plus money on this 125. Betting on volume. Last time they played, okay, it was game without Ivy, but he got up 34 field goal attempts in that game. 34. That's absurd. So yeah, expecting a ton. And if I'm the Bucks, I am actually letting Cade shoot because he is not that efficient. If you let him shoot pull-ups, he will score 25 on like 25 field goal attempts,
which is fine.
Which is like great. Like do it like every single time. So yeah, Cade is like, when you look at his numbers, like they look great when you look at the like basic stat because like okay, he's 24 7 and 9 on 44% from the field, like which is like normal guard stuff. When you look at true shooting, it's 53%. That's just terrible for like efficiency wise. So yeah, I think most teams won't send doubles to Cade because it makes no sense. Like he has 9 assists a game, so you actually want him like to prevent him from creating like wide open shots for Harris, Beasley, Hardaway Jr. or some alley oops to like Durant. You rather have him shoot mid range like entire game. And Cade, like he's shooting well from mid range, but like when you look at the league averages, he's shooting like 44% from mid range.
That's above league average, but it's still not an efficient shot.
Yeah, because he can get to the rim. He is getting to the rim very low frequency, and he's not finishing well at the rim. Like 54% at the rim is just terrible for a guard his size. Like if you look at the Luka, he has like 15% better at the rim stuff, and he's similar size to the Luka. Like, yeah, when you are a big guard, you have like no excuse to be shooting so poor at the rim. Like, and he struggles. He struggles so far. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll just say there's a simple fact on mid-range shooting. When you're shooting like 44%, I know like shooting in mid-range, it keeps defenses honest. It makes them like maybe think about defending you a little bit more in those spots. But like you can shoot 29% from 3 and score more over 100 possessions than 44% in mid-range. So that's the easy way to describe it. I know there's a lot more variables that go into it, but like just a simple explanation. Go 29% from 3, you're better off than going 44% in mid-range.
Yeah. Also, like Giannis, for example, as crazy as it sounds, Giannis is shooting better from mid-range than Cade Cunningham. Not something we like expected, but Giannis
What's the volume like? What's the volume like though?
So 33% of his 30% of his shots are jumpers, and he's overall shooting 41% on jumpers overall. That's for example way better than LeBron James.
Yeah.
But when we exclude the threes, he's shooting like 44%, 45% from jumpers for
Okay.
mid ranges.
For
So in the
Giannis,
area, from the area like from 10 feet away up to the 3-point line, he is shooting 41 out of 86. 41 out of 86. So 86 attempts in 20 games. So he attempts like 4 to 4.5 a game, which is great volume for like that's probably
yeah.
like top 10 in the league in mid-range volume.
So the difference here for Giannis would be he doesn't. I mean, he is shooting the ball pretty well from three this season, but you just camp in the paint on him because that's obviously his main game. So the fact that he can spruce it up a little bit and do something a little bit different in mid range, not at a crazy volume, that is helpful. So there's some nuances to it. But for a guy like Cade who can shoot the three and should be getting to the rim more effectively, that's where the stats kind of differ from my perspective. Anything else to add from this game here?
Only on Giannis, like weirdly, this looks like a difficult matchup for Giannis. They are top 10 in transition defense, top 10 in free throws allowed, above average in isolation, and they are great rim defense. You look at these numbers and then like, yeah, this is a difficult matchup for Giannis. He scored 45 on them. And that's in the game without Lillard. Now that Lillard's played, okay, usage will probably be on lower side because he had season high usage against them. But when you look at the last 4 games, 40% usage, 32 points, 41% usage. So his usage is constantly from 35 to 40%, and he scored like even against the Hornets 32, and they doubled him, and he only played 31 minutes. So Lillard being back probably helping him a bit to open up the game from pick and rolls and stuff, so he doesn't need to attack like face up. So yeah, I think 30 should be fine because I do think Pistons should stick in this one till the end. So with full minutes, Giannis played for 38 minutes against the Wizards. Crazy, I know, but he played 38 minutes and scored 42 points. Could expect similar stuff tonight.
Yeah, it'll be easy to construct narratives on this one with the illness yesterday, but the fact of the matter is if he's playing, he's deemed healthy enough to play, and he's got a very good matchup here. So we're moving on with Giannis 30+, Cade 20+ as the second bet on the show today. We'll move to the next game up on the slate. We got my Raptors in action against the Indiana Pacers. Raptors at home, where they have been effective this season. They have an above 500 record at home. Nonetheless, Indiana comes in town and are 3-point favorites with the over-under, a big one, at 238. Anything from you for this game?
I don't think Pacers should be favorite. I think this is even game.
I agree.
3 points is not huge, but Pacers they suck.
The Raptors, did they beat the Pacers already this season? I forget if there's so many games where the Raptors almost beat a team then don't. So I forget the ones they do win sometimes. I think they did beat them, yes.
Yes. And that was the game,
At home, by 11. Yeah, by 11.
Yeah. I think we had some bets on that game, and we watched the game. I think we had like RJ Barrett and Grady Dick 20+, 15+.
Yeah. I think that was the one. I think
twice. And Barnes wasn't even playing in that game.
Yeah.
And now he's playing, and Raptors are at home again. So I honestly don't understand the line. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, it was this one here, sorry. It was also Ben Mathurin, 15+, along with them. But yes, it was a winning bet in that game.
Yes. So we'll do again similar stuff. I'm just checking some stuff. Like I do like threes for Scotty Barnes, but they are not allowing that many. Like somehow, Pacers moved to like being 21st against spot up. I don't understand that because last season they allowed the least spot up, and I didn't see any changes on defense. So if they are switching and still allowing the most spot up, almost the most spot up in the league, How is that even possible? Maybe that's the reason why they suck this season. Because like if you are switching, you are doing that to prevent spot up.
Yeah.
And if you are doing that, you are allowing self to be exposed on like uh, paint scoring, and they do allow like more ton of paint scoring, and now they do allow also spot up. Like
Yes, what they
that,
were good at
that's
last
mind
year
blowing.
was what they were good at last year is that they just didn't allow threes. So their defense was good enough, and their offense had played at such an amazing pace that they would just outscore you because they would take threes and they wouldn't allow threes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you either take one or another, but they are now giving both at the same time, which is I don't see there is any team in the league that's so poor at defending the rim and then giving a ton of spot up that like maybe Wizards. Like that's it. It's usually a difficult thing to do. Like you give one or another. Like and yeah, but they are giving so much in the paint. So yeah, I do expect Barnes to thrive. So I'll do like Scotty Barnes, Scotty Barnes 20 plus and Matter in 15 plus.
All right, so similar from the last bet we had when it was the exact same matchup here. We'll go with Scotty Barnes, 20 plus points. Pair it with Ben Matherin, 15 plus points. It took Ben a while in the last game that we had him involved in, but he did get
Yeah.
there in the end, and he crushed it in the end. I think he's had an amazing fourth quarter, but 15 plus for him, 20 plus for Barnes. That is the third official bet of the day. 3 official picks already. Make sure you guys have hit that like button if you're tailing and you are enjoying the show. Walk us through this bet here, Pips.
Yeah, I mean, Maturin, well, he played 30 plus minutes as he should over this line in 14 out of 15, average 21.5, 4.6. Scored last time 28 against the Raptors, huge fourth quarter. Yeah, he won't shoot 4 from 6 from threes, but even if he like 2 from 6, he's still at 22 points. Only undercame at that crazy game against the Pelicans where he shot 4 from 12.
And we had him.
Yeah, yeah. It's a road game. He is doing a bit like Tyrese Halliburton is struggling away, so I think he needs to like step up a bit away. And I don't think Siakam has a great matchup inside against Barnes or Agbaji, whoever is guarding him.
Yeah.
While they don't have like a lot to stop Maturin like from driving. Raptors allow. Let me just check. Allow like ton of rim attempts, as we can see. Like they are at the rim, allowing like 10th most, and that's where Ben Matter like scoring 50% of his points. And if you look at this wings, this is actually crazy. Can you see the similar similar players by position?
Yeah, everybody covers except
Yeah,
for Amir Coffee,
yeah. That's
who you can make a
it's-
case is not a similar player.
Yeah, yeah. This is like just by position, like just the wings, like
Right.
shooting,
So everyone
like combo
covers.
guards. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone covered. Like the ones I am looking for are of course Maturin, but I'm looking at Norman Powell 24, Christian Brown 17, uh, Christian Brown 17 again. So yeah, like even though there are not many similar players to Ben Maturin that played Raptors so far, we can find some on this, and everyone is covering from the wings. So overall, a great spot to take Maturin as well. So I like Barnes. I'll talk a bit about Barnes. Like you can attest to this one as well. Barnes
This
usage,
guy's shooting right now.
yeah, the usage is like one of the highest in the league since he returned. Yeah, first game, 2 games he returned, it was okayish, like not something crazy. Against the first game against the Wolves, 11 field goal attempts, 6 free throws. Okay, like that's difficult matchup. Jaden McDaniels, like that's rough. Then he played against the Cleveland, 14 field goal attempts, and 12 free throws. He shot terrible from three, terrible from free throws, and came short to covering. Like overall, really poor shooting game from him, but he came 2 points short against best interior defense. Now he's playing one of the worst. 31 against the Pistons. Perfect. Like 26 field goal attempts in a game. That's incredible usage. Like now he's playing Pacers, which is crazy. Then against the Pelicans, couldn't buy a bucket. 7 from 23. Imagine 23 field goal attempts against the Pacers. What will that look like? Like that could be a 40-point game. And then Miami is not great this season on defense like they used to be, but 24 and 23 against Miami, like that has some value comparing now to the Pacers, who are 5 times worse on defense. So yeah, if we get aggressive Barnes, which we should, as the coach is giving him the greenest light in the league right now, yeah, Scotty should destroy this. And the thing I love for him, he's getting so much more on ball stuff, and Pacers don't double, and they let ball handlers to get to the rim and shoot overall. So this could get ugly for the Pacers. I think Barnes could have a huge game tonight.
So the Raptors head coach was asked about Barnes, who's taken I think 7 threes per game in the last, I don't know if it's last 3 games, but the last stretch of games he's taken 7 threes per game, and he was asked if he has a problem with it, and he says his only problem is that he's not taking more. So yes, the greenest of green lights for Scotty Barnes, and hopefully he can knock down the shots today. Last game we had him over, last week bet him we had over 1.5 threes, and he hit that in the first 6 minutes of the game. He hit his first 2 threes of the game. So let's hope for a good one here. Let's go to the next game.
I just wanted to say, like, over 1.5 threes is still a lean. As we can see that somehow Pacers do allow spot up, and he should have a couple of looks from there.
A little bit more variance just because, like, he's got to hit him still. But, okay, I mean, his line is 1.5, and he's going to take – it's a fast-paced game. He's going to take at least 8 today.
Yeah.
So – will Barnes go 2 of 8 from 3? I think so. I strongly lean in that direction as well. And I probably wouldn't even mind betting on top of that for Barnes in this one. Let's move to the next game with the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks. We'll start to fly through these games a little bit more because we've got a lot more games to go through here. But the Knicks are 4.5-point favorites at home. They are coming off, I think their last game was the absolute demolition of the Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, they're here against the Magic today. The Knicks are starting to put things together a little bit. They're 12-8, but the Magic, very, very, very impressive this season. They're 15-7. Well, I know the Knicks are at home, but I'm not sure I really trust them in the spread here. What do you think?
We have a similar case to the Bucks with this Magic team. I don't know if you check
easy games.
The really easy schedule.
Let's see.
The only difficult game they lost.
Pistons, Lakers, Clippers, Suns. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
right.
The Suns game was without Beal and KD, and 76ers game was without Paul George, Embiid, and Maxey.
Yep.
And the only difficult game was Clippers without Pavel, and they lost. And they won against the Lakers on single possession crazy game winner from Franz Wagner. So yeah, okay. I would take it with a grain of salt. This crazy record. I think they are really good. Obviously, that's not even the question. But I think
the spread reflects how good they really are here.
Yeah. Okay. So I do think Knicks win this, and we can bet the unders on the Knicks because the lines are set for 3 points lower for every player. Last game, Brunson was 26.5, now 23. Same thing with Towns. Anunoby moved from 18.5 to 14.5. Mikal Bridges from 16.5. So overall, everyone just dropped 2 to 3 points. So I'm not touching this game.
All right, we'll move into the next one then. We've got the Utah Jazz playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder here. The Jazz really struggling this season. They're in tough against a formidable Western Conference opponent here, 13.5-point favorites, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who currently sit at 15-5, top seed in the West on the season, and they've had Hartenstein back. Continue to have him for this one here. Anything you can work with this game?
Yeah, this one is tough. Just looking to some numbers, I think.
So no J-Dub. Oh, sorry, no J-Will. J-Dub is playing. No J-Will. No Caruso. Otherwise, still no Chet. Nobody else of super significance here for the Thunder.
Hartenstein is like huge for them. In a game against my Rockets, who won that game, I will say. We played amazing. Fred VanVleet had a crazy game, but he is huge for them. Like rebounding is sold just by him being in there. Like the biggest issue of this team is size and rebounding, and now they have crazy good rebounder. And yeah, so I am not having any bets on this one because this should be a blowout. I'm just thinking about this one. This maybe shouldn't be a blowout. Like,
okay,
do we really think that team with Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Calvin Sexton, John Collins should be like 13.5 point spread against Thunder? Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like...
There's a pretty wide gap in the ability of these teams. Markkanen hasn't been as good this season compared to previous years. And the defense on this Thunder team, it's hard to beat. Maybe 13.5 feels a little big, but I don't think I'm going to touch this one at...
yeah, same.
I wasn't really thinking about touching it either.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. We'll move into the next game then. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies. Turns out the Memphis Grizzlies are pretty good when they don't have their entire team on an injury report. The Grizzlies, they've been winning. They're up to 14-7 in the NBA standings. They've beaten some, they've had a pretty easy schedule as of late, which we've said about a lot of teams that are winning games, but winning games is winning games. And they're 14-7. The Dallas Mavericks up there with them near the top of the Western Conference with a 13-8 record. Dallas favored by 4 at home here. I think it's a pretty even game. What do you think?
Yeah, I would probably take Memphis +4 if I needed to bet something on this. Like, I know Doncic is back, Kyrie is back, they are healthy now, but Memphis are healthy is a great team, and yeah, overall, I like the team for the Memphis. Just looking at the bets wise, I've just checked something.
Sure. There's a question from Johnny here about the status for these games because they're NBA Cup games and some teams have nothing to play for in the NBA Cup. I said in the chat as well, but it's still a regular season game, so you still have to treat these games importantly. Maybe there's slight differences in motivation, but both teams want to win.
Yeah. Overall, I'll say I don't have any bets for this one.
All right. Well, we keep moving forward then. We already have 3 official picks on the show from today. If you are tailing, if you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the information, make sure you hit that like button. It really means a lot for the channel if you do. The next game up is the Phoenix Suns, 7.5 point favorites at home against the San Antonio Spurs. The Suns, they started the season really well, hit a little bit of a roadblock as a result of injuries to an injury to Kevin Durant, but since then they've been a little bit better, and they sit at 11-8 on the season. They've had some weird wins, they've had some weird losses, but still feels like they should win this game, even though the Spurs are also the Spurs have the same record. Spurs are 11-9 now.
Spurs are good.
They're pretty good. I still think the Suns should win this. What do you think?
I think they are pretty much even. when Wemby is out there at home. Like, I think like Wemby is like crazy. So I will
You'd lean
bet.
Spurs here.
I don't lean Spurs because when Wemby sits, there will be complete disaster for 12 minutes. But
Sorry. I'm saying
yeah,
you're saying when Wemby is on the floor, not just
yeah,
not just
yeah,
at the
yeah,
game, healthy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When Wemby is on the floor at home and Chris Paul is there, I think they'll hang around. They'll just beat the Kings, who had one of the hottest starts I ever seen. Like they shot like 75% in like first quarter or something, and Spurs grinded up their way and won at the end. Yeah, I'm betting this one. I'm betting this KD 20 plus points as the first legger. Second leg is Wembanyama 20 plus. And the third leg is Wembanyama to make 2 threes.
All right. Going back to Wemby on the threes. We got pretty unlucky last week. We had twice Wembanyama on threes with Chris Paul assists. One game, Wembanyama just did not get his third three despite shooting enough. And one game, Chris Paul had 17 potential assists, only ended up with 4. But Wemby's been shooting this season, and he's actually been shooting pretty well. Definitely some correlation with his 20 plus points and 2 plus threes here. And
yeah, I don't think
Kevin Durant.
he's. I'm like he's not getting to 24 points without 2 threes. Like he improved as an inside scorer, but not to that extent. And as we know, Mike Budenholzer is a funnel to us to shooting. So yeah, Nurkic in drop coverage against Wemby. Chris Paul should hit him on the pick and pops. Wemby is shooting. I'll just quickly check. He's shooting 38% from 3 over the last 12 games.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. And he averaged 27 points over the last 12 games. And he scored 20 plus in just a second. I'll check. In 8 straight games, averaged 31.1. That's pretty good. That's insane. Over the last 8 games, he averaged 5.1 threes a game. Pretty good as well. So
Not
that's
bad
it
for a guy who's 7'3".
Yeah. On the other side, we have KD. I'm going through him because I saw last game against the Kings. They let DeRozan take every mid-range out there. KD should cook. That's it. That's the bet.
Nice and easy then.
Yeah.
The 3 legs here, Kevin Durant, 20 plus points.
I'll just show like quickly on the chart. Like Spurs are allowing by far the most mid-range in the entire league. Like,
and
not even
that's
close.
where Kevin Durant likes to shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
So good matchup there. Wembanyama correlation big time with the points there. Wembanyama 20 plus points, 2 plus threes made. Kevin Durant 20 plus points. We're getting that minus 112 odds at FanDuel, and we can now move into the next game here. We'll keep it moving along. 4 official picks already on the show. Still some more games to go through. Perhaps something else awaits. We shall see. The Rockets. Who is injured? +1 against the Sacramento Kings. Who's injured?
No one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I took it. I took it last night at +2. I was like, I saw number 2, and I expected them to be the favorites by 2, and I was like, interesting, only by 2, and then I saw the plus in front of it, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like makes
why
zero
should
sense.
why would one not? Why should somebody not take the Rockets here? What's stopping me?
I think plus 100 at is a bet money line. I don't know, honestly. I don't see it. Like, we have all the tools to defend them. They don't have any tools to defend us. Matchup wise, we are kind of great. I only don't like Fox against Fed VanVleet.
Yeah.
Everything else,
speedy
I'm
guards.
like, Brooks against DeRozan easy. Our team defense against Sabonis great. Uh, Jalen Green against the Monk, that's kind of not great, but he won't be on him. Like Amen will come in quick and he'll take Fox, and Terry Eason will then take DeRozan, and Brooks will then hop on Monk or I don't know. But overall, we are matching well. On the other side, they don't have anyone to defend any of our players, any of our actions, any of anything. So maybe I don't know. Also, they lost to the Spurs. We are way better than the Spurs. Overall, I'm not making it official bet because I don't bet on the show this type of bet, but I did bet it privately, so yeah, I'll just say that.
If Pips betted himself, like bet at +2, so obviously you can make a decision there. The +1.5 exists in quite a few spots. The sharper books seemingly moving, yeah. The books that take
It's
the
actually
biggest limits are at +1. So
over last couple of I just checked. I didn't bet the +2. I bet the money line, and I actually bet the money line at -110. I just checked the numbers. I have it tracked. So just check my bet, and I bet the -110, and now it's a better price. It's moving away from me, which I honestly strongly disagree. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Pips bet it at a price worse than what's available. You make your decision for what you'd like to do for this game.
Bets.
I gotta
props,
address this comment. This is a poor way to think. Why are the Rockets underdogs? Makes me want to not bet it. If you think you've got an edge, you should play your edge. You have all the information here. You're aware of the matchups. Don't be scared of a game because you don't understand it.
No one is on the injury report for Houston, so there is no tricks. Like, this is just...
know, sports books aren't ganging up together to make a price. That's a trap line, some of the term that some people use. There's no, secret entity behind the scenes here.
I'll say, like...
exist.
Houston bench will run circles around the Kings. We have Amen Thompson to their Keon Ellis. We have Tari Eason to their Kevin Huerter. Like, that's not even... Yeah.
If trap lines existed, then sharp players would absolutely smash the sharper line. Like, if it wasn't set correctly, a sharp bettor would destroy the off-market line and shape it back into play. So trap lines cannot exist in the efficient market that we exist in for betting. We'll move now to the next game. Oh, sorry, I didn't add any bets for this game. I should have said.
Nah.
Other than that, all right. Now we can move into the next game. The Golden State Warriors +5 away from home at the Denver Nuggets. The Warriors have lost 4 games in a row now. They started the season super hot. They're down to still an impressive 12-7. The Nuggets 10-8 on the season. They are grinding for their wins this year. Still 5-point favorite. It's tough for me to gauge this one. Do you think this price is accurate here? I know there's a strong home court advantage for Denver, but what do you make of this game here? It's a tough spread to try and think about.
Draymond Green is doubtful, which is huge for the Golden State Warriors defense. Overall, they don't have anyone to stop Jokic. They are starting Trace Jackson Davis. That's, even though he's above average on defense, probably even good on defense, no match for Jokic. Then if Draymond Green is out, Kuminga starting at the power forward. That's so much inexperience and low basketball IQ for playing against Denver. Jokic will call him in every single action and expose him for every minute he is on the court. Then you have like matchup between Wiggins and Michael Porter Jr. I'm taking Michael Porter Jr. Matchup between Bernard Ponjensky, Christian Brown. I take Christian Brown. Jamal Murray will be open because he plays to the Nikola Jokic, and then Curry is in a great. Steph is in a great is in a difficult matchup because Jokic will be on the level and they'll double him whenever they can, and they need to make shots by Brandon Podziemski, Wiggins, and Kuminga, non-shooters. I would say Wiggins is decent shooter, but Podziemski and Kuminga can make three if they are not completely wide open. So I don't know. This isn't like a great matchup for the Golden State Warriors, especially on the road. Aaron Gordon is back, healthy Denver Nuggets. Yeah, I think this is a win for Denver.
All right. Any bets for this one?
Nope.
It's good. We have a good Q&A portion lined up here. Good discussion going on in the chat when we get past this last game here. 4 official bets, perhaps a final one, maybe not, in the Portland Trailblazers game against the Los Angeles Clippers. The spread here is 9. Portland, not very good. Clippers have been winning games, though. They're 13-9 this year. I mean, Portland's 8-13. I won't roast them too much. But regardless, the spread here, I think accurate reflection. What do you think about this one?
I mean, probably because Powell is back, so they have some power on the scoring side of Port. But Portland is not a terrible team. Like, they have some guys out there, like Simon, Sharp, Kamara, Grant, Ayton, Avdia, Henderson. These decent 7 players. Like Ayton, I would prefer that the Time Lord is healthy. But we must live with Ayton playing 35 minutes a night, which is not great. But like Grant and Tumani Kamara is great role player. To Jeremy Grant, when he's not first scoring option, is also a good player. Avdia and of the bench is like one of the nicest bench players in the league.
Yeah,
I don't think they are. I don't think they are that. Like this record is probably due to Simon missing half the game, Sharp missing half the games, Jeremy Grant missing half the games, Avdia, like Henderson, like they were injury depleted so far. I think they are way better than their record. Not that they are a good team, but they are not terrible either. They are a much worse team in the league, and this shouldn't be a blowout. So
okay,
there is that. Yeah, but if I knew what's going to happen with Norman Powell, I would bet it. But I honestly have no idea. Like he came from the bench last game, played 25 minutes. First game back from the injury. Is he now playing from the bench again, 25 minutes, or he's starting now and playing 34, 35? Yeah, guessing game, so I won't do anything. But if I knew that he's playing 30-plus minutes and starting, I will bet over on Norman Powell.
All right, there you go. That will do it for the stream. For the games. We've gone through all the games on the slate. We'll move to the Q&A portion of the stream here. This we'll start with because I was just talking about this. So there's conversations around the Rockets spread at +1 here. We're confused why the Rockets, who are clearly a much better team than the Kings. Well, not clearly, evidently, because the Kings are still favored. I know the Kings are at home, but this is a weird spread. I know Rockets are away, but if the Rockets were -4 at home for this one, I would probably still feel really good about taking them at that number.
There are some +1.5 on the market, and we must. I think that's a bet you should take.
I bet that. I bet that. I would recommend the +1.5 and the money line at plus money as well. Pips saying he liked, but I made a comment. Public money does not really affect betting lines. We know, you should know at least, betting lines are shaped by bettors, sportsbooks. Yes, they've got their odds team behind the scenes, but mostly it's moving based off of sharp action, especially a sportsbook like FanDuel when it comes to player props, which is why we see oftentimes their player props move before anyone else. So Pips will give out a bet. It's like, okay, FanDuel it's this, but everywhere else it's at this. The public money, which was discussed here, does not really have an effect because public money coming in is not going to be at a volume that is hurtful to the sportsbook. The concern of the sportsbook is setting what they believe is a sharp price so that when a big bettor comes in, a big sharp bettor comes in, the price is sharp and that bettor can't find a play that would give them a humongous edge. If they shaped it off betting splits, let's say 80% of the money's on one side, and they adjusted it based off that, a sharp bettor is going to come in and put an absolute whale of a bet on the off-market price there or the incorrect price there. So sportsbooks aren't it's a misconception that sportsbooks care about shaping lines to have 50% of the action on each side. I used to believe that as well. You talk to anybody who works behind the scenes in a sportsbook, they'll tell you that's not true. They're worried about setting sharp prices for when the big bettors come to play and aren't really concerned about what small public bets are going to be doing there. Pips, you're nodding. You're in agreement on that. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I completely agree on the totals and handicaps and spreads, money line, but public will shape up for some time.
For player props.
Player props. Yeah, you will
Yeah.
see like losing bettors on big accounts move the lines, and then sharp is coming back at them and taking the other side. So the line will move, and then eventually will come back if it's not a great bet. Happens a lot on player props. I'll see some guys move the line, and sometimes I'll myself bet the other side, and then the line will move back down. So there are a lot of stuff. Like a couple of days ago, maybe even a week ago, one of the best organizations in the prop market established the run. For example, bet under on Anthony Edwards, 27.5, and they move it all the way back to 24.5. Then I bet 24.5 and shared it. It closed at 25.5, and I think he scored 27. So I think they won on their line and I won on my line. Yeah, that's how it works. Like even if like some sharps can be on one side and the other sharps can be on the other side, not on the same line. But when the line moves, like I didn't like Anthony Edwards over 27.5. That was, in my opinion, good line. And then it moved back to 24. I absolutely love that line. I will bet it like with my closed eye every single time. So yeah, I mean, like it's shaping up with sharps, but it can move both sides. But yeah,
I guess
to
go ahead. Sorry.
Just to add to your like, bookies don't care how much money from the recreational bettor are coming just to confirm your stuff or on the sites and totals. Like if they have sharp bettors, sharp accounts betting like not betting much or betting both sides, they are pretty comfortable to take 95% of the money from recreational bettors on either side because they know that it's a sharp line. And honestly, most of the time, I think books, even great books like FanDuel, when it comes to the lines like totals and spreads, they just open up the price. Like they are almost 100% sure that's not a good price. They just put the number out there that makes some sense, and then the bets are starting to come in with low liquidity, low limits early on, and then sharps shape the line, and then they can increase the amount of money they can take on the bet. And when they have already shaped up line, they don't care what public is betting on.
Right. Question here from the chat. This is another good one. Somebody in the chat asks, why bet a minus 210 line? That's crazy to me. So I'm going to plug in some math here. Let's take the 210 line. Let's say the fair odds for the market are minus 500, which gives implied probability of 83.83. If you were to have that, you'd have an edge of, your edge would be 23, and you'd have a phenomenal position. For clarification, if I have an edge of 1.5 or higher, that's good enough for me to place a wager. So 23 would be amazing. That's obviously pretty unrealistic, but let's say the fair odds for an event are minus 300, and you got a minus 210 price. Now, that gives us an implied probability of 75%. That gives us 10% edge. So
That's the same. Just add one part. Yeah, I'll just say like comparing what minus 120 to 210 to 3. Let's say we expect it to be like fair price minus 300.
yeah,
7.5 edge. That's the exactly same edge between like plus 100 and minus 135. Exactly the same. So if you have something that's plus 100 and you that's minus 135 and you have plus 100, you have 7.5 edge there. That's exactly the same as betting minus 210 and thinking it should be minus 300. Same exact edge. Like it doesn't matter what's the price.
like what if you got minus 210 for Giannis? Okay, how about this? Let's say you got minus 210 for LeBron to score 10 points. Like, would you not take that because it was minus 110? Because it was minus 210. LeBron scored 10 points. Now he got close. Yeah, he had 10 exactly. So it's all about. It's not about the price. Just looking at the price, it's about what the fair odds on that should be. Value is value, no matter what the number is. Now, obviously, everybody's risk tolerance is different. So, if you're betting on minus 800, I'm just trying to think of a NFL one, like minus 800 for no kicks to hit the upright, not miss, but just to actually hit the upright. Minus 800 would give an implied probability of 88.89%. So in 11 games out of 100 is a kick hitting the upright? Probably not. Like, you probably have a good price there. But I think for me, minus 800 is probably at the point where I don't really want to bet it. I think there's value on that play. But from my perspective as a bettor, I'm not betting these very high, heavy juice markets enough for me to really feel comfortable from a risk tolerance standpoint. So again, everyone bets differently. Everyone's got their own perspective on risk tolerance.
Yeah, that case, like math wise, like simple math, yeah. Bankroll, I don't know how exposure.
Yeah.
Or long term, if you lose, you are losing way more than and hurting your bankroll way more than what you gain for the win. So I would, in that case, also probably stay away from stuff like that. But minus 210 is not in that range. I think like that.
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. Unless it's a minus 800 and it's just like a position you cannot ignore. But like, again, everybody's risk tolerance is different. The lesson here is that value is value, whether it's plus 100 or whether it's minus 300. If the price is set incorrectly, there's an opportunity to find value. And it's not widely discussed.
We have like a couple of weeks ago minus 210 that was great value. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Yes.
It was exactly minus 210. Yeah.
There's a good example. In fact, minus 200 is out there. I didn't bet enough on that, and we'll regret it for a while. But yes, that is a good example. So this also ties into our first point where public money basically doesn't have an effect on how a line is set. Well, in this scenario, there was so much money on Mike Tyson. This is a like 0.001% example where there was so much money coming in on Mike Tyson that the sportsbook had such a liability in that position that they had to adjust on that. So like when Mayweather fought McGregor, this was also another example. Previous election between Trump and Biden, that election, like people who are betting on Trump, there was no number that people were not going to bet Trump on. So they keep moving the line and set it to a point where like, okay, we can't move it any further, but people are still betting it at this incorrect price. Like, this is a good price for us. People are still betting it. So almost always public money doesn't affect, but in some rare cases with extremely high volume of bets, it does potentially have an effect there. But value is value. Sportsbooks don't care about 50-50 on bet sides. All right, let's talk about some of the bets here. We've gone quite a while, but let's talk about some of the bets here. Earlier on, Leon Rudolph here asked about Malik Beasley over 16.5 points. Was there?
I want to talk about this one because this is one of the incredible ones on hit rate. If you take a look at I don't know how many last games, and he played more than 22 minutes, I think he scored like clear this one in 12 straight. Let me just check points and rebounds. So he didn't clear rebounds. I don't think I'm going with rebounds. Maybe points alone, which is quite nice. 13 and a half, average 20 points over the last 12 games. Hit in every single game. Was close against the Raptors, but shot 4 from 16
Horribly.
in that one. And still won the game. Won the bet. Cade was out in that game. Cade was out in the game against Magic. Okay, but overall, matchup is good enough. He's running dribble handoffs and from pin downs to shoot from above the break 3, while Brook Lopez is in drop coverage. I don't think Brook Lopez is going to deliver for Malik Beasley there. As you can see, he scores 49% of his points above the break 3. Bucks allow 20th most. Bucks also allow a lot from the corners. He's shooting a lot from the corners. So yeah, this is a perfect spot for Beasley. Threes as well should look good for minus 120, plus 125, plus 130 out there. The thing is, this is with incredible hot shooting from Malik Beasley. I'll just like to look at the number on his shooting, but I honestly I'm waiting for it to come down to earth, and it's been a while and still not coming down to earth. Like, he's shooting so much. Like, he's shooting so many threes a game. Like, last 17 games, he averaged 10 threes a game, and he's shooting 40% on them. Absolutely incredible. Even when he's playing 30 plus minutes, he averaged 12 threes a game when he's playing 30 plus minutes. Incredible usage, incredible hot shooting. I don't think he's that guy, like 40 plus percent, but career wise, he's 38.5. He had a down season last year. He actually didn't. He had a down season 2 seasons ago, but last season he shot 41% from 3. So maybe this is sustainable, and you have a great bet here. So yeah.
So essentially, if you're gonna bet Beasley, take points or threes rather than rebounds.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
D Dot asked about, when we were talking about Barnes, asked about assists. I know you're heavy on points and threes for tonight, but his usage is very high. He had 9 assists last game. He had 10 assists the game before. His usage is just ridiculous. Would you look at assists as well tonight?
I know what are people doing with this. They are looking at old data that doesn't make any sense for one to look at, because at that time he didn't have the usage he has now. So don't bet the under on his assists.
No. This is for over. This is for over assists. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. I saw only. I didn't read it. I saw high at 7.5, and was thinking about
Like,
maybe
is it too high to still play the assist?
Yeah, I think it's for the matchup wise. That's not a great matchup for assists, as they are staying with their guys, and Scotty is mostly like driving, kicking, or hitting Jacob in pick and rolls. I think that's how he creates his assists. So I'm not betting over, I'm not betting under. I think this line is correct line that doesn't have any edge on either side.
Okay, follow-up question here, because good friend Julianaire asked about, if you're betting minus 200, this is the person with the comment about 210. If you're betting minus 200, how much are you wagering? So for me, if I'm betting minus 200, I would bet 2 units to win 1 unit. I'd just be my standard unit sizing for a bet like that.
I'm depends. If I'm betting minus 200, that's probably not a player prop. Probably. I'm thinking what's the fair price and putting in Kelly Criterion calculator, and then they will tell me what's the amount I should bet. Like the easiest way to approach this one, I think.
So for me, my risk tolerance would be a little different. So I would, if I was betting a minus 200, if I plugged that into the Kelly Criterion sheet I have, it would probably tell me to bet a lot more than 2 units for me to want to bet the minus 200, which I probably
Depends on
wouldn't.
the edge.
Yeah.
Depends on the edge. If you
Yeah.
think it should be a minus 300, then yeah, it will tell you to bet a lot more. But if
Yes.
it's telling you, if you think it should be minus 250, then it won't be that much.
Yes. So I'd probably feel more comfortable just betting 2 units there. But if I have like a massive edge, then I would probably bet even more than that. But I would typically,
I know.
I would just play like 2 units to win 1 unit.
I know people that bet 10 units on Jack Paul at minus one at minus 200. So yeah,
Right.
It's yeah. So they had a massive thought that it's a massive edge and bet a lot. So you depends. Like my standard unit, I on the show do like player props for 1 unit. To just make it easier to track stuff, but overall my standard bet for player props is 2 units for me, because I have like 9 years of experience and winning every single season. Makes 0 sense for me to bet 1 unit when I know my age.
I actually don't know quite. My percentage is probably more around 2% for a unit. And if I was using Kelly Criterion, I would use the quarter Kelly method.
Quarter Kelly, 1/3 or quarter, yeah.
I don't really have one that I'm completely committed to, one or the other, but it usually comes in around a similar number.
Yeah.
For those,
I'll say like we are doing them the same. Like you said set your 1 unit at 2%. I set my unit at 1%, and then I'm betting 2 units, which is exactly the same thing.
Same. Right.
Same thing. Yeah. I just love like the 2 units so I can scale a bit better, like 1.5 units on some like thinner edges and 2.5 on bigger edges. Yeah. So if I scale like from 1 unit, like probably down to 0.5, that's maybe to 1.5, it's bigger difference. So I will need probably do like 0.75 and 125. Like, I'm confident with betting 2% on every bet I make.
Moving down the list here, well, we've got Fred VanVleet over 16.5 points at 1.9, which is minus 110. Do you like Fred VanVleet in tonight's matchup?
Matchup wise, it's great. I just don't trust Fred VanVleet. Like he had crazy game against the Thunder, where everything went in. But then you have games like against the Portland where he scored 10 points combined for 2 games. And it was also a great matchup. So it's a bit random. Like if you have one player that's like 50-50 almost like for every game, it's probably Fred VanVleet. It just shots are coming in or not. He can be wide open like he was against Portland and didn't score anything. Then Thunders are probably one of the most difficult matchups for ball dominant scorers. He goes for season high 38. So do I think the Kings are a great matchup for him? Yeah. He scores, even though he's ball dominant guy, he scores a lot from spot up when they play through Şengün, and Kings allow the most spot up. Their defense is disaster outside. Like they are only doing good against the rim, and Fred is not going to the rim. He is mostly shooting outside. So this is a great matchup for Fred. I also think maybe I even lean over 2.5 threes compared to the over on points, because he's shooting last 3 games 9, 9, and 12 threes. Overall, when you take a look at the last 8-9 games, he's over on threes in 7 out of the last 9. Anders came in a blowout win against the Portland. They didn't need him. He should shoot 2 times in 30 minutes overall, not from 3. And the next game was close game. He was 0 from 6 from 3. So volume is most of last couple of games he shot 8+ in every game that's not Portland, and shooting is coming around. So I like threes over rather than points.
All right, there you go. Some information there on Fred VanVleet. I'm going to cut off any of the questions. So we got the ones I've queued up. We're going to go through here, but we have gone a long show here, so we'll try to wrap it up soon. Maybe we can run through these a bit quicker. We have Jakob Poeltl over 15.5 points, -110 from Nicholas Jepson. Pacers do give up points to the rim. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good one. I went with Barnes, but Jacob should work. He scored over twice against Miami. I honestly had under in the first one. They're just going to him a lot.
Poeltl lately has been a bit down production-wise because teams have been more aggressively switching off of pick and rolls, which has taken away Poeltl's game inside. So we had a couple really bad games in there. Pacers aren't going to be switching those as much, so there should be looks for Poeltl tonight. I would lean towards a Poeltl over as well here.
I would say first game against Heat I watched. I didn't watch the second one. First game against the Heat, when they switched smaller guys on him, he got the ball in post-up deep seal and scored on them. I think I saw that 5 times. In the first game.
The teams had been adjusting. That was the first game they started to kind of work around it better and get him in those spots. But like the Pelicans game, I think it was, even though the Raptors won by a lot, they just could not get him the ball in that game. So things are improving for him once again. Frankie asked about Tyrese Halliburton under 10 assists and Barnes rebounds at 6+. I mean, he's been crushing rebounds lately. But what about Halliburton assists?
I don't know what to think about assist against the Raptors. I think they are. I'll check. I don't want to talk about out of my ass. I'll check. Raptors allowed exactly average assists, and last time they played, he had only 4 on 10 potential assists. Last couple of games, still back to the being poor creation wise. Yeah, I do lean under. Yeah.
All right. Corey Kispert, 10+ points, -120. Good.
Is this
I actually think that may have come in after that comment. I think this is just a coincidence.
Yeah. Cleveland Cavaliers. I would say that I'll check his threes. I do think maybe over 2.5 threes should work because Cleveland are giving up a ton of threes, especially once I get above the break threes where he operates. Overall, they are putting 2 on the ball a lot, and then they get hurt by corner guys or at the 45 angle guys. And Kispert is that guy. So if you think he's playing in a blowout, I like this.
So I'm seeing this comment was the reason the 210 comment came up. Well, saying why would you ever take 210? So
that makes sense.
Now we have the origin story as well. Yeah. Snoopy Waiters asked about Malik Monk over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. -11.
Houston Rockets. No, the assists are terrible matchup against my Houston Rockets, and he's now starting and playing next to DeRozan and yeah, you probably I'm looking at the games when I'll just show you. Look at these games: 9 against the Wolves and 9 against Portland. No DeMar DeRozan. If you take a look with DeMar DeRozan, you get this. And okay, some of these games were low minutes, so when he's playing 24+ minutes, still doesn't look great, right? And now he plays against the team that allows the least assist in the league. So I will probably lean maybe even under than to say on over.
Well, that's why we asked. That's why people want the information.
Yeah.
Now they know. 2 more here. Yuto, once again, asked about Mo Wagner. 10+ points at -145.
Matchup wise, that's great. Jericho Sims probably at the backup or is he even playing? I don't know. I'll just check quickly. Knicks play Jericho Sims 13 minutes as a back at 5. That's one of the best matchups in the league. Moritz Wagner is playing. Yeah, his minutes really came down. That's the thing. Like, he's playing 16 minutes last 2 games. 16 minutes is a rough spot. If we exclude the games where he played 20 plus minutes, still looks decent, but not great. But overall matchup is insane. I don't think like it's okay there. 10 plus for minus 145. That looks like an off-market number. So yeah, that should work.
And last one, Yakov asked about Christian Brown, 10 plus points, Curry, 6 plus assists, plus 127. Greetings from Croatia.
Yeah, Jakov, that's our local name. Hi, Jakov. Jakov is just saying that makes sense. I bet Curry over 5.5 assists, so 6 plus assists earlier this morning. Draymond Green is doubtful, so they will play through him a lot. Denver will be on the level, doubling him. Then they can do shit to defend the rim. When they do that, they're allowing 4th most assists in the league. Yeah, I like that. And Christian Brown, one of the, I'll just show you. Like, I don't know if you check this one, but it looks absolutely insane on the how consistent he is with scoring this season.
Right.
11 plus in every single game so far this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, but Golden State is the second best transition defense. So I don't know. I'll think about this bet. I maybe even like it at 12.5.
Okay.
I know Gordon is back. Everyone is healthy, but he's still like last game. Gordon back. He played 36 minutes, scored 11 points with 0 threes against Clippers. The worst matchup for Christian Brown entire season. And second under came, guess what? Against Clippers. Worst matchup in the league. So if you exclude Clippers, he's over this line in 15 out of 16 games.
Pretty
That
good.
actually could be a good bet. Overall, points, rebounds, and assists also could be a good look. So yeah, overall, I do think like his minutes won't be moving down. Maybe if he is in foul trouble against Steph Curry, but don't see it, honest.
Well, that will do it for the questions here. Our good friend in the chat says, thank you for answering the question. Hopefully it didn't feel like we were like attacking or anything. It's just, this is the way that most of the people who bet on sports think, I believe. So, the value is value. As we said earlier, it's harder to beat it on like an MLB money line cider total at minus 210, I'd say. But if you can find value on a bet, it shouldn't really matter what that price is. And thank you to Michael for the kind words about our ability to explain it. Had a bit of practice doing content like this, but hopefully you learned something today if you didn't know up ahead. And to end off, RyePro needs some birthday luck, and I think we need some of it as well for the birthday picks. Happy birthday to RyePro in the chat. That was there nice and early. 4 official picks for the birthday. Let's find some winners here. Here are the picks from today's show. In the Sixers-Hornets game, we have Maxey, 20-plus points. Sixers money line. What's that?
I just realized we have like 4 same game parlays on FanDuel. I didn't even realize. Yeah, it's loaded.
It's loaded. Maxey, 20-plus points. Sixers money line, minus 119 at FanDuel. Second bet, Bucks Pistons. Giannis, 30-plus points. Cade, 20-plus points. That's plus 125 at FanDuel. All these plays at FanDuel, by the way. Indiana and Toronto, we have Scotty Barnes, 20-plus points. Benedict Mathurin, 15-plus points. That was minus 110. And finally, in the Spurs and Suns game, KD, 20-plus points. Wembanyama, 20-plus points and 2+ made threes. We took that minus 112. That is all for today's show. Lots of great information. Lots of bets to tail. New microphone. We're putting in the work. We're putting in the budget. We're adding onto the budget to make this show better for you guys. So make sure you do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NBA shows like this every weekday morning, so long as there are NBA games to discuss. Tomorrow, we've got a decent slate to work with. 6 games on the slate to work with. Hopefully, we see you there tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, buddy. Take care.